So what we're talking about is the secret ingredient that makes business fun, makes it grow faster, and makes your results inevitable, and ultimately just makes shit easier, you know? And that thing is fundamentally enjoying and finding your own joy in running your business, right? One of the things I was saying before is that I think there's this like mentality in our industry sometimes that like the people who make the most online are business coaches. And while I can see how that appears to be true, what I truly believe is true. I know, Debbie, it's crazy. Thank you for coming back. What I truly believe is true is that the reason most business coaches make money is because they're fundamentally excited about and interested in business, and they want to build their business, and they find joy in building the business. They enjoy the process of building a business, right? Hi, Emmy. Thank you. I'm so happy you're here. They fundamentally enjoy the process of building a business, right? And what I was saying is for a lot of my clients, they're in totally different industries. Like I have a client that's a marriage coach. I have a client that runs an in-person business entirely. I have a client that has a dog grooming business. I have a lot of clients that have health coaching businesses. And like the ones that end up fundamentally just killing it and making those 10, 20, 50K months in other areas too, have really stepped into loving the process of building business almost as much as they love and are passionate about the reason they started their business. So I was telling you guys I have a health coaching client who is at 50K months and recently said to me, like, it's so funny because now that I'm at this place, I almost enjoy running the business even more than I enjoy the coaching. And of course she still loves the coaching and is going to continue doing it, but she has just fully embraced the joy of being a CEO and running a business and building a team, right? Often it gets seen as like a means to an end for people, even business coaches, to be perfectly honest, right? It's like, well, I'll run the business so that I can do the work I want or so that I can make the money I want. It's like a means to an end, right? And they're not truly finding joy and excitement and fulfillment in the process of building a business. And I think that is one of the things I work with most, how do I want to say this? Oh my God. I've been taking NyQuil. Maybe there's something wrong. But one of the things I work with most of my clients on is like, how do you just love the process of building your business? How do you get excited about looking at the data and the growth and being the leader and doing the mindset work and stepping into strategy and all of this kind of stuff? Like, you have to love that part, right? And if you don't love that part and you've like convinced yourself, well, like, I'll just stick it out and I'm willing to like do what I have to do. Like, I'll do what Lacey tells me to do to get the result. But ultimately, like, you know, I could take it or leave it. You're not going to get there as fast. And it's going to feel so much harder. Hey, Stephanie, like so much harder, right? Whenever we treat something as a means to an end, nothing works that well if it's something we have to do again and again, right? Like, you know, there's some things where you just suck it up and do it, right? But fundamentally, if you're treating running a business as a means to an end, you're going to be sorely disappointed because guess what you have to do for the next however long you want to make money? Run a fucking business, right? So you have to find a way to fully step into and enjoy that and to fully allow yourself to get excited about and desire to get excited about running a business and being a CEO. It is not a means to an end, and it's not something that you can gloss over or that someone can give you 5 steps to. You have to get in that process. Here's a good example. Someone that is working out because they see it as a means to an end. They don't like anything about working out. They hate working out, but fine, they'll do it so they can like stay at the weight they want. They probably do it inconsistently. They probably are miserable when they do it. They probably don't push themselves near as hard as they could. They probably don't step up in the way they could. They probably don't try new things. It's just like a means to an end. The people that absolutely embrace the process of fitness and getting fit and going to the gym and like finding what class they love and what workout program they love, and they push themselves and they test and they tweak and they lean into it and they're excited about it every time they do it, fuck, they get so much better results, right? They're not getting the same results as a person that's just like, well, I have to be here slugging away on the treadmill to stay at a certain weight. Fuck no, you know? And the same is true in business. Hey, Claire, yeah, I'm back. You know, Facebook being all crazy. Stephanie, I'm not sure what you mean by what part. There's probably a delay when you said that, when I read it, all that kind of stuff. Tell me what you mean and if I can answer that for you. But absolutely, like, look at those results. Someone who ends up making fitness something they love versus something they have to do to get the result they want are getting totally fundamentally different results, right? And here's the thing. You can run a business without truly loving running a business, but your results won't be near as good as they could be, right? So I'm not saying it's impossible. It's really not. You can run a business not loving running a business, but to the point of fitness, you're not going to be into it. You're not going to push yourself as much. You're not going to test. You're not going to tweak. You're not going to get excited about the next thing. You're not going to stretch your comfort zone in a way that you never would have. You're going to stay in your little box and you're going to make what you make, and that's kind of going to be it, to be totally honest. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if what you want are the big results, you have to start loving the process of building a business. And this is whether or not you're a business coach, this is whatever industry you're in. If you're here to get big results and to build a business, you have to invest yourself in loving that process, right? I think that is one of the things I'm the absolute best at, is helping my clients figure out how to make it fun for them and helping them figure out what works for them. I think anybody that's teaching you the idea of like, just do what I say and like use business as a means to an end, I think it's just totally fucking you, to be perfectly honest. There's not a better way to say that. But, well, there probably is a better way to say that, but not one that immediately came to me. But, because what they're teaching you is that business is a means to an end. And what I fundamentally see to be true in my clients that have just blown it up is as soon as they start loving business, their business blows up. It's that simple. Again, in any area, I can like literally think of like 5 clients off the top of my head right now that are in entirely different arenas that we have worked on, like getting excited about building a business that blew it up because of that, right? And it looks different for all of them. So it's not like it has to be this one way, but you truly have to find your fun and joy in the process and really get excited about that piece of it, or it's just not going to grow in the way you want it to grow. Simple as that. I think that if you see it just as a thing that you have to do to get an outcome, you'll never get the outcome you truly want, right? Just like with the working out example. I think one thing that always comes up for me when I think about this is like Gary Vee and how he talks so much about how he just loves playing the game, right? He loves playing the game of business, and that is why he's so successful, because he loves the business of being in business, right? He just thrives off of that and he enjoys it so much. And to be honest with you, that's true for me too. Like, I love the challenge of being in business. I love getting excited about new things. I love testing things. I love tweaking things. I love learning. I love building my team. I love being the CEO. And that's why business feels easy for me. That's why my business grows faster, because I like the game and the process of building a business, right? And that's why my results are inevitable, because I'm going to keep playing it because I enjoy it, right? If it was just a means to an end, I'd probably want to stop playing it at some point. I probably wouldn't really try new things. I probably wouldn't collect a lot of data. I would probably just kind of like slug it on through, you know? And it's a totally different thing. Excuse me, Claire said, I was thinking about this today. It's so key to do what you love, as that's when the momentum comes. And yes, it's a game for sure. It's an adventure. Right, and I think it can be in parallel. So like my client that I was telling about, that's, you know, a health coach. She loves health and she loves coaching and she loves talking about those topics and she's into all of that. But she has like actually trained herself to find her joy in business, to find what she loves about that, to find the things that feel really fun and exciting about building a business, and to lean into all of that and to make that just as fun, right? And so it doesn't mean like business has to be your initial passion, but it does mean you have to get passionate about it along the way, right? Just like fitness, like you might not walk into the gym being like, fitness is my passion, but If you want like the fitness competitor body, you're gonna have to get really passionate and excited about it. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's just such an undervalued thing where most people are trying to tell you how to like shortcut that and how to like not have to like think so much about building a business. And I feel like the opposite. Like, how do we get you fucking excited about doing it? Because that's when you're going to get the most results. It's also when you're going to get the most, excuse me, results with ease, because you're actually going to enjoy the process, right? I know of no process that you can hate the process and love the result. I just like literally don't, you know? Like I really cannot think of anything where you hate the process and love the result. And maybe you love it for a moment, but where you like long-term sustain it and love the result, it's just not there, right? You can maybe like force yourself to like, whatever, do something for a few months and be Ms. and like maybe get some results from it, but your results aren't going to be as good as they could be. They're definitely not going to come as easy, and they're certainly not going to be sustainable, and they're definitely not going to be inevitable, right? But like if I just love the process of fitness and I love everything about it, my results are inevitable because I'm always going to keep doing it because I love it, right? Like if this business burnt down tomorrow, I would just build another one. It's like fundamentally fucking love business, right? And that's why my results are inevitable, because I'm just not stopping because I love it, right? And for all of you, no matter what your niche is, like if your niche is marriage, you're probably like, well, yeah, I'm going to just stay married because like I just fundamentally like love being married and I love investing my time, energy, and effort into it, and I love making it a priority. Same is true if you're someone who's invested in fitness. Nikki's on here. Hey, Nikki. Nikki loves fitness and she loves nutrition and focusing on that, and she gets so much joy and excitement out of it that her results are inevitable because she's just always going to keep doing it. You know, it's that easy. And again, like that's Gary Vee. Like he loves the business of being in business, and it's what makes it so enjoyable for him. And I really think like if you're not feeling this about your business, you absolutely have to get support on that, and you absolutely have to figure out how to just have a fuck ton of fun building your business. Like, again, I think I said this earlier, but like, I feel like that is one of the things I'm best at with my clients is just taking such a stand for the fact that they have to fucking love it, and they're gonna sit with me until they figure out how to love it, because it's what sustainability really is. If you hate everything about building it, you're going to hate everything about having it, and you're going to burn out. It's that simple. Hey, Rebecca. Thank you for joining me. Nikki says it's helped me to look at my business as a person. So I'm like, okay, what does she need from me today, this week, etc. So good. Yeah. I always want my clients to like name their business. Like, Bob, like what does Bob need from me today? And I love what Nikki said, like, what does she need from me today, right? And to like enjoy the cultivation of that and the nurturing of that, right? Excuse me. I actually had a discovery call with someone a little while ago, and basically they were just kind of clear. They like did not look forward to running a business at all. Like they wanted to get paid for their services. They just like didn't really like the process of running a business. And I basically told her like, listen, if you want the results that you want, which were very big results, right? Your work with me is going to be to figure out how to fucking love running your business. And so if you want to do that work, we should work together. And if you don't work with me, because you're not going to get those results hating everything about running your business. So it's the choice is really up to you, right? And I felt so in integrity saying that to her, because it is like one of the things I believe the most, which is like, you have to want to invest in this. Like entrepreneurship is not easy, you know? It's like not easy at all, right? And so if you don't love the process, it's going to knock you off enough that you're going to quit. It's that simple. If you can find a way to really love and get excited about the process, you'll stay in it, you know? And so it felt so good to be able to say that to her, like, hey, the choice is yours. Like, if you want this result, this is what we're going to work on. And if you don't, that's okay. Like, I'm just not the coach for you, but like, there's no getting around like loving the process if you want this big result, right? Claire says, my bot is called Jeff. Maybe I should call my whole business Jeffrey. Claire, my dad's name is Jeffrey, so I happen to think that's an excellent idea, and I love that name. Nikki says, whatever it takes. Exactly. here's another example. So I have a client who she grew really, really fast, and got to the point where we had to like build a team quite quickly. And during that process, she said to me on one call, she was like, I just hate this team shit. And I was like, oh, well, let's reframe, because you now have a business from now until the end of time that's big enough that you require a team. So like your job right now is to figure out how to love the team shit. It's not to figure out how to get through it enough because you hate it. It's to figure out how to love it. And so we did a lot of work on that for her. Like, what are the pieces that fit to her strengths? What does she actually like about team building? What does she need to do about it? And like, she literally like loves building her team now. Like everything about her team, she's obsessed with. She's obsessed with leadership. She's so into it and excited about it. And she went from having a team that was like rocky at best to having a team that just like serves her so beautifully and so well. And it's because she decided to love the process instead of just like grit and bear her way through it to hopefully get the result. When she started loving being a leader, she started to cultivate a great team. It's the same thing. When you start loving running your business, you start to cultivate a business that's fun to run, you know? And so I feel like this just gets so downplayed in the online space where it's like, it shouldn't feel like anything. You should just like do these 5 steps and that's it. And you should just like get to love what you do. And it's like, yes, love what you do. But what you're doing a lot of when you're running a business is marketing and running a business, right? Like, whatever, say you even have 15 clients. Well, it's 15 hours of your week. Maybe you don't even see all of them every week. I don't, right? So like with the rest of your time, you're running the business. And so yes, love what you do, but like part of the majority of what you're doing, especially as you grow, is running the business. Like a lot of my clients that are like at the $1 million mark or whatever, most of their time is spent just running the business. It's not spent in the day-to-day service. And so if you're trying to run a business that scales like that, you have to love running a business, or you're gonna build something that you hate, right? And you're gonna build something that requires all these things of you that you don't wanna give. And so looking at business as like this thing, as like this means to an end, or these 5 steps that I just have to do, is hurting you so much, because you're not going to ever make it as fun or as fast or as easy as it could be. But ultimately, you have to figure out what makes you love the process. Like some of my clients love the process of leadership. Some of them love like data collection and excuse me. Some of them really like the connection with their audience, and that's what they lean into. Like it doesn't have to look like any one thing, but you absolutely have to have the support to love building a business, right? Fundamentally. I also think that this is the reason most people aren't consistent. It's because they haven't found a way to like love running the business, and so they're up and down and all over the place with it, right? They'll do something for 2 weeks and they'll be like, it's not working, so forget it. It's because you're only seeing it as a means to an end, right? This thing is painful and icky and uncomfortable, so it better give me results right away or I'm not going to do it. Nothing works like that. Nothing, you know? For real though. It has to be like, this thing is fun and enjoyable and I'm liking the process, so of course I can consistently stick with it, right? When the only thing that justifies the effort is the outcome, you're putting in the wrong effort, you know? It's like with fitness, right? You have to love the effort to get the outcome, right? Like we were talking about, if you're the person that like hates being at the gym, so you just go to the gym, get on the treadmill and slug away, hating every second of it so you can like maintain your weight or something, the results are just not gonna be there, you know? You're not gonna stick with it. So I think that this is just really important perspective. And one of the reasons I want to talk about it is because I feel like it's just one of the things I spend so much time on with my clients, and I just feel like I've never really mentioned publicly. But it's got to be said, because I think that it's just not a message that's getting translated in the online space. But I bet if you looked at anybody whose business you looked up to, no matter what industry they were in, they fundamentally enjoy running a business. They find joy in the daily commitment of running a business. They just like it. And they've found their own way to like it, right? So I really hope that this is a call to you, that if you are feeling like, damn, I don't really like running my business at all, that you decide you get support around that. You get help around that. You look at your strengths and how you can apply it, and you make it your full-time job to enjoy it, because that's where the results come from. I don't know anybody that hates running a business and is getting big results. I like just really do not. If you can think of someone, I would be very interested to meet them, because it would be fascinating to me, but it's just not happening, right? And I think the same is true with almost any thing in life, right? If you're a health coach, for example, you probably want your clients to just fundamentally enjoy the process of getting healthy, and that's probably part of what you try to teach them, right? And so you have to apply it to your own thing. And if what you're dedicating your life to is building, growing, and scaling this business, you have to dedicate yourself to enjoying that process. Otherwise, quite honestly, you could just go back to corporate. You know, like, if you want to be Ms. for a result, that's the fastest way to do it. If you want to get big results that feel good and easy and fun, the way you have to do it is to get fully invested in enjoying and loving that process. And I think it's easy, honestly. I just think it's not something most of us apply ourselves to. Like that client I told you about, that one, from like hating all things team related to loving all things team related. That wasn't like an arduous process. It was more like an intentional process, right? Meaning it took her being like, I have to love this because it's not going anywhere, right? To really committing to loving it and diving into it and enjoying it, right? And I think that's true with anything in life. When we put our commitment to something, it doesn't necessarily have to be hard. It's usually quite simple, but it needs our intentionality, right? So if you're listening to this, this does not have to be this super hard process, but there's always more there. And even if you're like, well, I kind of like it, there's probably ways for you to go deeper and enjoy it more. But if you can enjoy the process of building a business, your results are inevitable because you're going to keep going, right? If you hate the process, 2 weeks of doing something that doesn't get a result will make you stop. 1 month of hard effort will make you quit. Like, all of that's true. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was good perspective, that it is not just something you plug and play and forget about. It is something you enjoy and nurture and get excited about, and that's where all the results come from. So hope this was helpful. Hope you guys have a beautiful Monday and an amazing rest of the week, and thank you for joining me today. One thing I would love to know, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, is what is one thing you love about running your business? For me, the thing I love the most about my business is connection, right? So whether that's connecting with my team or my audience or my clients, connection is so valuable to me. And it's the thing that makes me love running a business. Like, I love getting on live stream and connecting with you. So it's like easy to market. I love writing emails because I want to talk to you. I love serving my clients because I love talking to them. So it might look totally different for you, or it might look very much the same. But think about what's one thing you just fucking love about the process of running a business, and let yourself lean into that. And you'll probably see how you could lean into it even more and, you know, really make it your own. So love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.